Hello, how are you, friends? Today I am going to tell you a very scary real horror story. This is based on a real haunting case from America. So sit back, relax, and listen carefully. In the small town of West Pittston, Pennsylvania, during the 1980s, a simple family home became the center of one of the most terrifying paranormal cases in history. This was the home of the Smurl family. At first, everything was normal, but soon strange things began to happen. Inside the house, strange odors filled the air. Sometimes it smelled like rotting meat, and sometimes like burning wood. At night, the family heard loud bangs inside the walls. Heavy footsteps echoed across the ceiling, even when nobody was upstairs. The scariest thing was that these sounds often came when the house was completely empty. The family also reported seeing strange figures. A dark shadow standing in the kitchen one moment, gone the next. Sometimes, they felt someone was watching them in the bedroom, but when they turned on the light, nobody was there. The children even said their toys moved on their own, as if pulled by invisible hands. As time passed, the activity became more violent. Furniture moved from one room to another. Deep scratches appeared on the walls. One night, the entire bedroom began shaking violently, like an earthquake, but outside, everything was calm. The family turned to the church for help. A priest came and blessed the house. For a few days, everything was peaceful. But soon, the haunting came back, stronger than before. That's when the famous paranormal investigators, Ed and Lorraine Warren, entered the case. Lorraine Warren said this was not just a ghost, but a powerful demonic entity. She described seeing a black shadow inside the house, so heavy and dark that even breathing felt difficult. According to the Warrens, the spirit was feeding on fear and getting stronger every day. The haunting continued for years. Journalists and camera crews who visited the house also reported strange events. Lights flickered, cameras stopped working, and some even heard unexplained voices. Some video clips showed objects moving by themselves. But still, there was no solid proof that could convince everyone. For the Smurl family, however, the terror was real. Their home was no longer safe. It became a place of fear. Every sound, every flicker of light reminded them that something evil was always there, watching. Some people believe the story was fake. Others believe it was one of the most powerful demonic hauntings in America. Whatever the truth is, one thing is certain. Those who entered that house felt a heavy, invisible fear, as if the walls themselves were alive. And if you like scary stories, don't forget to like and subscribe. Welcome to Colorado, home of the infamous Stanley Hotel. Known around the world as the inspiration for Stephen King's The Shining, this historic hotel is not just famous for its luxury or breathtaking views. It holds a chilling secret, a history of ghostly activity that has terrified and fascinated visitors for over a century. From shadowy figures gliding down empty hallways to unexplained whispers echoing through rooms, the Stanley Hotel is alive with the spirits of the past. The Stanley Hotel sits high in Estes Park, surrounded by the majestic Rocky Mountains. It was built in 1909 by Freeland Oscar Stanley, a wealthy inventor and entrepreneur who wanted to create a luxury retreat far from the bustle of city life. But almost immediately after opening, strange events began to occur. Guests reported hearing footsteps in empty hallways, doors opening and closing by themselves, and shadows moving across walls when no one was there. Even the staff noticed these eerie phenomena, fueling rumors that the Stanley Hotel was haunted from its very beginning. Freeland Stanley himself lived in the hotel until his death in 1940. Over the decades, ownership changed hands, but the spirits never left. Visitors continued to see mysterious figures, hear unexplained voices, and sometimes feel a presence that could not be explained. Even today, the Stanley Hotel remains a hotspot for paranormal activity. Guests from around the world report experiences that range from unsettling to terrifying. One of the most common sightings involves apparitions in the hallways. Shadowy figures dressed in old-fashioned clothing have been seen gliding silently down corridors, standing in corners, and then vanishing without a trace. Other guests experience poltergeist activity. Lights flicker with no explanation. Objects move across rooms as if guided by invisible hands. Footsteps echo in empty hallways. Whispers call out your name. Some encounters are even more chilling. Guests have seen full-bodied apparitions in their rooms, faces twisted in anger or sorrow, staring silently before vanishing into thin air. Beds shake, doors slam, and personal items move without warning. Even paranormal investigators report strange phenomena here. EVP recordings often capture unexplained voices, footsteps, and faint laughter. Many claim the energy in the hotel feels heavy, almost alive, a sensation that is deeply unsettling. Among the most well-known spirits at the Stanley Hotel are Freeland Stanley, the founder, who is said to appear in the library or hallways silently observing guests, sometimes warning them of unseen dangers. Elizabeth Wilson, a maid from the early 1900s, has been seen sweeping corridors dressed in her old-fashioned uniform. The Lady in White, a mysterious female apparition, is sometimes spotted near windows or the ballroom, silently walking before disappearing. Shadow figures, dark and featureless, appear unpredictably, often near stairs or hallways, making guests feel watched and uneasy. The experiences reported by guests are bone-chilling. People wake in the middle of the night to whispers calling their names. Lights flicker violently, revealing shadowy figures before plunging the room back into darkness. Objects move on their own, doors slam, and beds shake. Sudden cold spots appear, often accompanied by the smell of old perfume or cigar smoke when no one else is nearby. Some visitors describe feeling as though the hotel itself is alive, watching them, testing them, waiting. Even the bravest feel the weight of unseen eyes as they walk down empty corridors. The Stanley Hotel remains one of the most haunted locations in the United States. Its long history of ghostly activity, combined with its eerie architecture and isolated location, makes it a magnet for those seeking the paranormal. Whether it's shadowy figures gliding through the hallways, poltergeist activity shaking the rooms, or ghostly apparitions silently watching, the spirits of the Stanley Hotel continue to intrigue, terrify, and captivate visitors from around the world. For anyone who steps through its doors, remember this: the line between the living and the dead here is frighteningly thin, and the ghosts of the past are never far away.